another video. Today we're reviewing Deadpool 2. This one came out in 2018 and was directed by David Leitch and stars Ryan Reynolds and Josh Brolin. Now before we start, with the like button, subscribe, post notification bell so you know for a video. Let's just start. Let's start talking about the good. So all the actors and actions, whom I thought they're all good. Ryan Reynolds as Wade Wilson or Deadpool is fantastic. And I thought that Josh Brolin himself was good. I thought he was a good villain. But Josh Brolin is a fantastic actor, and I thought he was very good in this film. The opening sequence I thought was good. Is basically Deadpool just ranting about Wolverine, and I thought it was very, very funny. The cinematography, which includes shots of camera lighting, is good. Just like the previous film, I thought this film was directed well. It's directed by David Leitch, and I think he did a good job behind the camera. The first act of the film I thought was very well done. They set up the characters well. I cared about most of the characters in this film. Deadpool's character needs really no setup in this film, so for his character they go straight into it, and I thought it worked well. The return of Deadpool, which is Deadpool's car driver, the Indian car driver, it was good. I really enjoyed his character once again in this film. He is very funny in this film. There are also some awesome action sequences, especially Deadpool's killing spree scene. Deadpool just goes off in one scene, and he's just attacking every single person in that scene, and it's awesome. Very, very cool, and I really enjoyed the cinematography for that sequence alone. It just goes slow motion, quick action shots. Very, very fun scene. There's also an emotional death of Deadpool's wife, or Vanessa, in the first act of the film, which I didn't expect it to be that emotional because she was a good character in the first film. I thought the relationship was very well handled, and when she died, it was actually pretty emotional for his character. There's also a great return of the other characters from the previous film, like Weasel, played by T.J. Miller, who's fantastic once again. Blind Al, played by Leslie Uggams, she is awesome. And Dopebinder, played by Karan Soni. Colossus, played by Stefan Kapicic. And Negasonic Teenage Warhead, played by Brianna Hildebrand. They are all great. I enjoyed every single one of those characters in the previous film, and they return in this film, and they're once again fantastic. The segments of the film I thought was very well done. I enjoyed all the action sequences in that second act. They progressed the story well enough for me to actually care about what's going on, and I thought overall it was entertaining. Cable. Now, he's played by Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin is a fantastic actor, but unfortunately the villain Cable is just okay. I was expecting him to be a better villain than Ajax, but Ajax I thought was a good villain in the first film. But I was expecting Cable to be better, but he wasn't, and he was just mediocre. He's not as good as Ajax, like I just said, played by Ed Skrein. Ajax was fantastic in the first one. There are also some great references to X-Men. Wade Wilson has Cerebro on his head. It is very, very funny. He puts Cerebro on his head, of course, the thing that Professor X wears on his head, and I thought that sequence was fantastic, and it's a great reference to the other films. The third act of the film was okay. It is good on the action side of it, but other than that, I was expecting a more explosive third act that Deadpool gave us, but they didn't, and it was just okay for me. There are also many hilarious sequences, especially scenes with Deadpool and Dopebinder, which is, of course, the Indian car driver. Very, very funny. I thought those two characters have great chemistry on screen together. Just like the first film, they're very, very funny. The score by Tyler Bates, I thought it was good. His score is not as good as the X-Men scores, but for Deadpool, it was good. And the ending sequence I thought it was good, especially Deadpool, Colossus, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and Dopebinder walking towards the camera. There's fire everywhere. That's really the ending. And I thought it was good. It fits the film well. It ends the film well enough. That's all the good that I have. Now to move on to the bad. So some of the characters were very unnecessary. There are some unnecessary slow motion and fast forward sequences in the third act of the film, which I do not like slow motion shots, anything like that, unless they're meaningful or they're funny. The reason Suicide Squad did it right. Suicide Squad did the slow motion shots right because they were establishing the characters, and that was the first time they established the characters. It wasn't where I would have been fine if it was sort of like an epic entrance for them, but it wasn't. You knew that they were walking around, and they just decided to put a slow motion, and I don't think it worked. That's about it. Deadpool 2 is a good enough sequel and a good enough superhero film, and I recommend it if you like the first film. So I'm going to give Deadpool 2 a B-. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to post notification bell so you know every further video. I'm Peter. Thank you for watching.